did this in practice. Tried it on Thursday and tried to warm up and get going, and then wasn't able to do it. Then we took care of that. Then it was confirmed what it was, and so he ended up having surgery this morning. So surgery was successful. We'll see how it all goes time-wise. I mean, I can't tell you time-wise, but and within that, we brought in Spencer Schrader to come in and do the kicking. He's a young guy, so his resume isn't long, but the ones he's had, he's done a nice job with, and Beach felt comfortable with that, along with Dave Tobe. So we invite him in, and he can do the kicking going forward here until Butt is able to return. So with that, time's yours.
It's a meniscus, was that right?
Yeah.
You said you don't have a timetable here, but you are expecting him back at some point?
Yeah.
What do you guys like about the new guy?
Yeah, he's got a very strong leg, and he's done well. He ended up, they used him, obviously, elevated him at the Jets. So they had a couple kickers there, and obviously they favored him.
Any particular challenges for a young guy coming in late in the week to do this job?
I don't think as much of that as just being a young guy in this situation. I mean, but the kid's traveled around the world here a little bit, playing soccer, and has a strong leg, and he kicked at Notre Dame last year, so it's not the first big crowd he'll be in front of, so I think he'll be all right.
Andy, can you describe just the confidence that you've had in Harrison, how that's maybe affected, particularly like late game scenarios? The Bengals, you kind of know that.
Yeah, listen, I mean, he's done phenomenal. He's a great kicker. I mean, arguably going to be a Hall of Fame kicker going forward. And so, no, it's great. But again, we welcome this kid in and give him a shot. So,
Coach, is it still the same as it was? Commended you and Pacheco another week, and
yes.
Optimism for Juju.
Yeah, and both those guys, I thought did a nice job with this week. They were working on scout team and moved around well. So they'll be listed as out. And then Juju's had a good week. So as our other guys have in preparation against a good football team.
You've had quite a few guys get hurt. You have to deal with that all the time. You always just kind of focus down and just don't worry about that stuff. Does it feel like this is more than normal? I mean, now you got one of your best players kind of getting hurt in practice. I mean, how do you just deal with that as an organization?
As a coach, you go forward. I mean, that's what you do. And so you don't sit there and let that stall you. You move forward and you stay optimistic with it. So in this case, I don't really know the kid, but I look forward to seeing him do his thing. And he's supposed to be a pretty good player.
Coach, you mentioned not really knowing him. Does that change? Does that change things for you in game?
No. We're gonna let him kick.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right.
All right, go for Mike.
Mike, obviously Buffalo's run the ball extremely well this year, and also pretty high volume, the frequency of which they run it. What do you see in their running game for why they've been so successful with it this year?
I think it's the QB runs. They have an excellent back and Cook. We're real familiar with this opponent. We battled over a few years, but it's the simplicity and execution of that run game. Stretches, open, some gap scheme stuff. They got a quarterback that can run downhill. That's a bigger guy, so that's what we see. That's what we're up against.
What do you kind of always have to keep in mind when they do some of the RPO stuff? And like you said, I mean, Josh Allen is a real threat with his legs too.
We got to get in the lanes. We got to fill those lanes up. We got to have a relentless pass rush in those times and those moments, and everybody just has to stay in their gap. And we got the group of guys to do it.
Not sure how many times you played there except for the playoff game last year. What's that environment like?
It's hostile. They have a great fan base. They're similar to the Chiefs Kingdom. They're loud the entire time. It's been a lot of great battles. It's a real hype game for everyone, but it's an excellent place to play.
It's been 2 seasons now, but what has it been for you to be back in Kansas City after bouncing around that first stint?
Everything. This is kind of home for me. Just trying to end up finishing my career here. It's been great success here both times, and just trying to continue that and, the family atmosphere, the teammates, the coaches, they make it feel the same every time. So it's great to be here.
What is it like just working with Chris? It seems like even this year he's taken it to another level.
Oh man, it's entertaining. He makes everybody around him level of play go up. His work ethic, his leadership, which I feel like he's really excelled in that area this year, and bringing our defense together as a whole. He's such a talented player, generational talented, where he dictates where plays go. So being on the field with him makes my job a lot easier.
How much, Mike, did you know about Joshua Uche, and what's it been like sort of working with him now for a couple weeks?
I've heard about him in college. I saw him a little bit over in New England, and Mike Dana, they were teammates together. So we know that he's a speed rusher. He's a guy that gets after quarterback. The Spags, playbook is complex, but he's picking it up very well. He's, blended well with the guys, hard worker, entertainment in the locker room, and, just keep him under the wing and just let him know it's a family atmosphere, giving him room to grow, room to work.
Like getting back to the way Buffalo's run the ball well this year, do you enjoy when an opponent's done that just because that is a lot of what you try and do?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, run games are, I know I'm going to get a lot of usage. I pride myself in those moments for looking forward to that challenge. They got a great O-line. And like I say, Josh Allen is one of those competitors that's at the top of the league with how they run their scheme and, the play action and how he does things in that offense. And that's why their running game's successful. So as a defense and even me, I look forward to games like this.
You mentioned knowing this opponent well. How would you describe the environment that you're expecting in Buffalo?
A great environment. We know their fans are going to be hyped, amped up for the game. Like I said before, they're similar to the Chiefs' Kingdom, so we know that guys kind of want to get after us after last year, but we're ready for that challenge.
Mike, what's it like when you're midway through the season and another team obviously is good and that you potentially might see them down the road? Are there things that you can sort of pick up or understand that, this sort of sets up potentially what could happen later on in the season?
Absolutely. I mean, you're always aware of like the standings and the opponent you're going against. But I mean, ever since Josh Allen's been in Buffalo, it's kind of been that scenario. So it's kind of we're going into the same thing. We know how important this game is. We know what rides on it, and we're prepared.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Quick and easy.
Challenge of playing the Buffalo Bills and then what it's like to play in that stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. They got great guys all over the board, starting with their quarterback. They got great running back, offensive line, receivers, great defense too. It's a tough environment to play in. We've played a lot of close games with them. Haven't won one, at least since I've been here in the regular season. Beat them in the playoffs, obviously. But, we got to bring our A game this week.
What's the challenge that just goes into the quarterback that can have the dual threat, but specifically Allen when he
of course.
The body?
Yeah, you know what? What's unique about him is he could run. He could first of all, he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, right? That goes without saying. But when he can move as well as he does, and he's my size is not a little bigger. You respect that even a little more. So he's like I said, one of those elite guys, can make all the throws, is dangerous with his feet. So you got to have stuff, and you got to prepare all week for a guy like that.
George, getting to the quarterback, whether that's pressures or even sacks, is the D-line kind of where you want to be at this point in the season, or are you kind of behind where you hope to be?
You don't count them in the middle of the season. You count them when the season's done. You know, we're not where we want to be from an individual perspective. All of us, we know we could play a lot better. You know, that's what every week's for. You know, just being able to constantly improve and get better every single week, and then, you know, work our tails off, and chips will fall where they do. So, you know, definitely not where we want to be. You know, and I'm not talking statistics and stuff like that. I'm talking just from our play, because we know we can be a lot better. The standard for us is a lot higher. So we just got to keep elevating.
I asked Mike a similar question, but how have you seen Chris Jones raise the bar a little bit further this year?
Oh my gosh, I mean, Chris is a beast, man. You know, seriously, maybe his stats aren't there, you know, like they have in other years that I've been with him, and I know they'll come. I'm not even. But just to see, like, almost every pass, he's double teamed. You know, he just commands so much attention. When it's a one-on-one, it's like, all right, he's gonna win it for the most part, at least. So that's the mentality that we have. So he's our leader in the defensive line. You know, so I've been with him 3 years now, and you know, the thing that he's improved the most in my opinion is his leadership. You know, just seeing how much more of a leader he's become. The play goes without saying, but just how great of a leader he is and he has become has been awesome for our group, and you know, he's the guy that gets it going for us up front.
George, is there any way to describe how kind of exhausting it is for a defense? You know, late in the fourth quarter, you know the opponent's got to get down the field in a hurry, and you're trying to stop them. I know teams have had success against you in those occasions, fourth quarter drives.
Yeah.
But it just seems like that puts a defense in such a tough spot. Offense is going so quickly. How tiring is that for you guys?
You'd say tiring from like a physical perspective, or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's tiring whenever there's like a 2-minute offense. You know, any kind of a hurry up, no huddle. I mean that's going to be, you know, physically pretty exhausting for the most part. You know, with all the tempo and whatnot. And you know, for us, we're in a situation where we got to stop them by any means necessary. So that's, you know, you're going all out every single play, and then like it's the last, and you're hoping it is. So.
Would you have blocked the field goal if Leo didn't?
I mean, you watch the tape. But I mean, I think, I mean, you can never. I mean, you know, give credit to Leo. That was an amazing effort by him. I mean, maybe I would have. I don't live in the world of hypotheticals, so.
But you were I mean, you obviously were in position to take.
I mean, yeah, I was in the position I needed to be.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.